location at one of Steve's properties on Moonlit Ridge. When I got out of the car, before I left the office, I just didn't feel compelled to record anything. I took the camera out, put it on the dashboard, and before I even turned it on, I just put it back and said, you know what, I feel pretty chill today. I don't feel like I have any kind of overwhelming sentiment that I need to convey. I think I'm just going to skip this for now. I don't have to record every day. And that's what I did. And even on the drive here, I was like, I really don't have any kind of extreme thought that needs to be discussed or worked through. I feel pretty good, pretty pleasant, pretty even keeled. Felt like I've really been just living in the moment the last several days.
Incoming call. Press Uconnect phone button to answer.
I have no idea who that is, so I'm not answering it. So I just put the camera away and I drove, and I was like, you know what, maybe it's a good day to try
Phone call completed.
Flip the camera around, and while I'm out driving on the roadways, I can maybe make my presentation and expound on my philosophy about replicating patterns and the similarities between the physical world that we have created and the less physical world that we come from, and how we can learn and identify the unseen by what we do see. And I was trying to really immerse myself in that philosophy and bring up some of those details, and just wasn't able to dig into it. I mean, it was there, it just wasn't to any level that I thought was going to make it easy for me to talk about or give examples. And that's one of those things, I really have to be in that state of mind to easily convey that thought. So I just let it go, got to the move out, and again, I was just kind of enjoying the day, enjoying the weather. It was a pleasant drive. Really didn't feel a whole lot of stress from work. I had a couple situations that had me kind of tensed up over the weekend, and as I recorded yesterday, I had some somewhat hostile, intense reactions to those, and kind of worked my way through those, and addressed them when I got to work. And in facing those things and dealing with them head on, and coming up with a morally sound and ethical solution really made me feel good. So I went home feeling good yesterday. Felt like the day went fast. Felt like I was occupied enough that my mind didn't wander too much, but I was able to throw myself a few distractions throughout the day to make the work day a little bit more interesting, and got home in a decent state of mind, feeling like I had the evening to do whatever I wanted. And what I really wanted to do was do a little bit more towards some wand making. Thought I would, if I could get to it, would spin another one, but I had some blocks of wood that I needed to break down before I could do that. I wanted to break them down so that I had them easily accessible, so that I could go on whim and instinct when I decide to make one. So I had some cherry and some butternut and some walnut and some hard maple, and broke those down into contrast to create definition. And I was sitting there and I was driving and I'm thinking, all right, it's 68 degrees. It's very pleasant. It's only supposed to be in the mid-70s today. It's absolutely beautiful outside. And we're in Texas. And this is a little wonder what the normal is for this time of year, but this is one of the big reasons we moved here, so that we could have better weather for a larger percentage of the year. And on days like today, I still find myself comparing our weather and our environment here to the weather environment in Illinois at that time. And I really never gave it much thought. I mean, I do it, and I do it on a pretty regular basis, and it's the same thing. I'm seeking out contrast to provide definition, to be able to understand the beauty and appreciate the things around me. So it's very common for me to be like, all right, well, it's 72 now in San Antonio. Well, it's only 45 in the Quad Cities, and I like 72 better than 45. So I'm taking something that I have no real connection to, other than I grew up there and most of my life was there, but it has no bearing on what I'm doing now, to try and apply some kind of contrast to what we're on now, because I can really appreciate a 72 degree, beautiful blue sky, sunny day on a day early in May if I add some contrast from weather that I was used to or that my family's experienced. That's a pretty simplistic process, and you may not find any relevance in it, but it lends weight to how we do things on a daily basis, where we seek out contrast that maybe isn't so innocuous or isn't so subtle. Maybe you're seeking conflict in your life. Maybe you're drawing things into your life that make you severely unhappy, and it's that desire to create contrast so that you can have an appreciation for other things. The bad thing is, it's very easy to seek out that contrast and forget why you're bringing that contrast in there. So, I mean, you really have to take a close look at the things that are coming into your life and the things that you're experiencing, and ask why. Why am I experiencing this now? Why am I creating this in my life? What benefit could it possibly have? And it could be as simple as that. You've gone to an extreme in creating contrast so that you can define details in your life. And there's times in my life that I've done that, whole periods where I've created extreme dissatisfaction and unhappiness, and to really generate rage. I mean, you can become addicted to anything, and I was for a long time severely addicted to anger and rage, and I was generating and creating things in my life for long periods of time, and I've even gone back and reverted back into that. Not so much in the last couple of years, but I find myself sometimes slipping down that path. But take a close look at those things, because it might be something as simple as realizing that you are trying to grasp a hold of and embrace the beauty of your life, and you are creating contrasting moments and situations to do that, and without the benefit that you should be getting from that, and then you start creating even more and more intense situations to try and push that limit. So just take a look at it, be aware of it, and if you are able to identify that, once you acknowledge it, you can change it. And a lot of times it's simply acknowledging automatically changes it. So I'm sitting in the parking lot now, and it took me the entire drive over here to get to that little bit of a statement, which is the reason why I turned the camera on.